Hello, citizens of the planet. Welcome back to Monday Musings with Larry Lelli. And this week I want to talk about a clinic that I recently performed out on Long Island for the Percussion Arts Society Day of Percussion. And I was the featured clinician for the day and presenting a clinic on Broadway drumming and percussion playing, for pits and musical theater shows. And it was for a wide range of characters out there. They were aged, I don't know what their ages were, but they were probably in like 6th grade on up into high school and college age, and there were actually several adults there as well. Perhaps amateur players or semi-professional players or professional players. I don't know exactly everyone who was there, but anyway. So, and I, passed on a lot of the little tricks and techniques that I've learned over the years on playing in Broadway shows and how to make things happen on the fly, or to, just make things work with what you have. Like even today at a rehearsal that I went to, I wasn't told to bring any instruments. They said they would all be provided for me there, but when I got there, there were instruments called for in the music that weren't actually provided. So I had to figure out a way to make a similar sound using the existing instruments that I had. And, that's just something that we do. We kind of do it on the fly. So anyway, I wanted to, pass along these kind of tips and things that I've learned over the years through real-world experience, or sometimes we call it trial by fire. You learn, trial by fire, or flying by the seat of one's pants, as I'm often asked to do. And I learned a lot of these things just by doing them and getting through them, figuring out a way to make it work. But I also learned them from friends of mine when I first moved to town and I started to sit in all the different pits around New York City, orchestra pits, that is. I would learn little tips from watching them, or even from stories they told me. And I'll tell you one story that was shared with me early on in my days here in New York City, and I won't use any names to protect the innocent or the guilty. But so this one percussionist, he was telling me about a show that he played where he had to play one single crotale note. And a crotale is a round cymbal-like disc, but it's pitched. It's really thick and it's made out of the same cymbal material, but it's a pitched, high-pitched, sound. And so he was playing on the other side of the pit, and the crotales were all the way over on the other side of this setup for him. And he had one note that he couldn't make by running all the way over there. And this was all of his personal stuff. He didn't have money to go and buy another single crotale note or a set of crotales. So he made this contraption so that he could still play the timpani over here. And he took what was a long... Remember those little flags? I don't know if anybody does, but there were these little flags they used to put on children's bicycles. Little orange flags that would stick like 6 feet up in the air, and it was flexible, and it would sit there, and, so people would be able to see that there's a little kid riding a bike. Well, he took one of those poles and taped a bell mallet to the end of it and put it over by his timpani. And so he'd be playing the timpani, boom, 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 whatever, and grab this giant extended flagpole with the mallet on it, and bing, hit the crotale on the other side of the pit, put it back down, ding, 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 back on the timpani. So I thought that was hysterical, but it solved a problem for him, and he didn't have to go out and buy another set of crotales or something, So anyway, it's stuff like that we do on a daily basis that a lot of people don't know about. And I thought I'd just share that with those audience members and with you guys now. So, thanks for tuning in. I'll see you next week.